Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison. Sorry it ran over time there. Being honest, I had to go for a pee. I was bursting in the toilet because I still get excited when I get to talk to you guys every single morning. So I usually do it before I go live because I do get excited and think, right, is this going to go okay? Because I still get nervous a wee bit when I go on a live. So that's the truth of it. And I had to grab a cup of coffee as well. So there you go. Crush the likes, everybody. If you go down to the like button just now and really help the channel and crush those likes, that'd be fantastic. Okay, so Bitcoin up to $13,000. The alts are still getting wrecked. What do you do in this kind of situation with regards to the alts? So we're going to look at the charts for Bitcoin. We're going to look at a couple of news stories as well. I'm just going to see if we're live or not, just to make sure everything is up and running okay. Are we live? Yeah, we've got a few people in just now. So I'm just going to dive over to the chat area. See if this works okay. There was a bit of problems yesterday, but should get it just now. 1 sec. We'll keep it that size. That's fine. You can still see me in the corner there. Okay, we have in the house, Stephen King is in the house, Donny Don Matthew, Gordy Boy, is in. John Russell's back with us. Jason Clayton, good to see you back. Adeb Vin, one of our brilliant admins. Adeb as well does brilliant kind of job of curating the news. So when I do the videos on the kind of news story, I didn't do one yesterday because I was doing the kitchen, finishing it off, and time just ran away. But Adeb, James and Rob, who's got his own channel at Bitcoin Phoenix for the Polish community and is doing brilliantly, by the way. Rob, you're doing amazing with your kind of channel. It's grown much bigger than this. It's double the size of this channel. And has only started it kind of recently as well. So they all curate the news for me as they bring in the afternoon, and some of the news stories here as well. So thank you very much, Adeb. You're very much appreciated, as are all the other admins as well. Really appreciated. Scottish Bull is in the house. Mitch Dieter, Bernard Ronald is in. Mac Pawn on his crypto journey. Wet and gloomy Edinburgh. Yeah, it's pissing down out here as well. Sorry, it's raining. It's raining hard here in Glasgow as well. G-Slick is in the house. JC Stander. Marcus Jafari, London Bobby, Mervyn Skidmore, Niles Bull is back with us, James, Calv at 46, Deception Bay Boxing Club is in, good to see you here, and we have Njambi Kariri is in, and Men Cage Lai is in, Ming Lai, good to see you here, Ming Lai. Rob UK, I've just been speaking about you, Rob UK, one of our brilliant admins, and I was just talking about your channel, Bitcoin Phoenix. Doing fantastic for the Polish community. So if you're from Poland or you speak Polish, that is a brilliant channel to go to as well. Well, I don't know if it's a brilliant channel because it's all in Polish. It could be the worst channel ever, but I know it's not because it's Rob that does it. So it's brilliant. So go over to that. Bitcoin Phoenix is F-E-N-I-K-S, and you'll be able to get onto that channel if you're from Poland and you speak Polish. Crypto Cannabis is in the house as well. Axel is in the house this morning. Rob UK, bless you, haha. Okay, what is happening in the markets just now? Markets just going mental just now. It's a bit crazy at the moment. Right, we have kind of overall market capitalization of $352 billion. We've got Bitcoin dominance going up again to 65%. It's just kind of smacks of 2017. And I still think we're just going up to this all-time high at kind of reaching about $20,000. But we need to wait and see what happens. Bitcoin is at 12,878 at the moment. We just had a drop of about $200-300, but I think it's gone back up. So we'll look at the charts after, and we'll see who's the winners and losers. Ren up 31%. Iglesia, that's just done amazing. I think we're going to look at Iglesia just now. So big congratulations if you're in Iglesia, because that's just done amazing over the last month or so, over the last 2 months. So it was at 24 Satoshi, now it's 612 Satoshi, so it's over 20x, 25x for Iglesia. So if you're in Iglesia, well done you, that is fantastic. XMAX is up as well, we've not looked at that, but that's doing amazing as well. Circoin Spot, I thought that right, 17 billion. Walton Chain is up 16%, Ogre, Bitcoin Gold, Crypto.com, the chain, CRO. Tezos, Grin, Bitcoin, Digibyte are all up as well, and we'll see the percentages roughly about 25% in the green and 75% in the red. Who's the biggest loser? Aurora, Quant, Dent. Dent, I do not understand Dent at all. What's going on with the Dent price? Just crazy. Ardor, MadeSafe, Solve done some good news yesterday as well. And that's down. I'm surprised that's down. Mixin, Qtum, IOST, Cosmos, Icon, Biton, all down. Okay, we have to look at the BTC, the Satoshi value as well. You're remiss of me not to do that, because ultimately we're looking to trade the alts unless you're looking to keep them, like Cardano and Ethereum, XRP, etc. So this is Satoshi value up 28%. That means what it's doing is outperforming Bitcoin by 28%. That's really what it's saying. Egretia 21%, XMAX 14, Walton Chain, Ogre, Bitcoin Gold. So there's only about 17% up in Satoshi value, and some of them very low kind of Satoshi value up, but still up nonetheless. Okay, we'll go to the overall markets. I know a lot of people are not interested in alts just now, and I'm obviously interested in the alts market. I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist by any manner of means. I just know that Bitcoin is where it's at just now, where the party is at, and that's where we should be kind of looking at as well, and accumulating our favourite alts as well for when alt season does come. It will come. It doesn't look like it just now, but it will come, because Bitcoin is not going to go up forever. It has to come down at some point, and I think 20,000 could be that point that comes down, but it's eyeing kind of 14, 15,000 just now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, it was all the altcoins. Okay, so this is altcoins over kind of $100,000 trading, and we've now got 2,321 cryptocurrencies listed on CoinMarketCap. Bezant is up 138% on 500,000 volume, 53 million market cap. Constant is up 70%, market cap of 1.9 million. We'll just go down to the market caps. Euclid coin, I've seen that quite a lot now, jumping up 36%. So it could be a good trading one. What else? Unicoin Gold, don't think I'd touch that. Scramble Network, I've been talking about that as well over the past couple of months. That could be a good one, 11 million. Merculate, I haven't heard of that, up 28%, 7 million market cap. Humanique, that's been out for ages, Humanique. And that was one of the darlings. We'll just take a look at Humanique, because that one was one of the darlings of the kind of crypto world when it first came out. Just see its kind of journey just now. Right, Humanique. Yeah, look at that. Price was 61 cents. Market cap of 100 million. So it's down 50x from where it was. 97 Satoshi. What was it before its peak? No, the Satoshi value at its peak was 8,656. So that is nearly 100 times lower than Satoshi value. Is that right? Yeah, it is. So I don't know what's happening with Humanique. I've never kind of looked into them for ages. But it just shows you. So that's the overall markets. Okay, we'll look at Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing just now? It's back up again. It did fall about $200. Okay, so this is on the monthly. So it's currently at $12,880 at the moment. The monthly all-time high, when I said the all-time high in the kind of header title, the all-time high on closing price, this is on closing price, not the wick value, but on closing price, the all-time high for Bitcoin was 13,880. We're getting close to that. We're getting close to that just now. We're at 12,875 just now, or just $1,000 off Bitcoin's monthly closing all-time high. And we're talking about an all-time high. So we're not talking about the wick value, which was 19,666. We're talking about the closing value. So you can see here, Bitcoin is, for the past 6 months, has been on a kind of an upward trend. And it looks set to continue as well. So if we look at the past, the previous ones, I want to show you this as well. So if we look at the previous, and we'll go to BLX. I'll get rid of these. Because this is kind of crazy when you think about this. So if we kind of measure, and the previous, I'm just going to say there's $32 down to $1. Okay, so the previous, and we'll do the wicks. Okay, so the first major bull run, this is on the monthly, first major bull run produced 288,000% return. 288,000% return. That means if you put in $1, for every dollar that you put in, you would have got $2,883 back. So that was the first major bull run. So 288,000, just remember that one. The second bull run started around about $2.89 and went up to 1,100. That was the second major bull run. That was up 39,000. 39,000. So for every dollar you put in, you get $396 back. The next bull run was when it went up to 20,000. We'll take it from here, from the wick. And it went up 9,000%. 9,000% to around, well, it was actually just under, yeah, nearly 10,000. Okay, so we had 10,000, 26,000 there, and around 288,000. So what can we expect from this bull run? And this is on the monthly. So if we take it up to say 10,000 again, because this fundamentally has changed, because there's more and more investors. This is not driven in 2017, 2018. It was driven by the likes of us, what they call the retail investors. That people have not got a lot of money. It's just kind of $100 in, $500 in, $1,000 in, which is a lot of money to us, obviously, but to the big investors, it's nothing. It's just kind of peanuts. So this is investors in just now, and there's going to be more investors in. I've got a couple of news stories as well to show that. But if we went 10,000% up, we're looking at a price of $350,000. If we just went 10,000, if we just went kind of 5,000% up and just say half that, just say, okay, it's gone up 5,000%, which is for every $1 you put in, you get $50 back. It's gone up to 177,000. Again, even if you half that to 2,500 and just be extremely conservative and say, okay, 2,500, it's still $86,000. So these prices, 12,571. Oh, that's not the right price. I'll just go to BTC USD. 12,894. So BLX has a different price just now. So for these prices, I kind of got a fright there actually because I'm in the markets just now. So these prices, I think it's actually really good to get in. And that's what a couple of the news stories I'm going to show you has to say as well. So it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts. Okay, I'll jump back to the chat area and just see who else has joined us. Rob UK, crash the likes. Cheers, Rob. Crypto Cannabis, blessings. Axel is in the house, good morning to you. Donny John Matthew, heard when BTC dominance touches 70%, it also would start running. Yeah, if it touches 70%, usually it'll come down from there. So I think on the previous to last one was about 70%. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance, we can see, I should have that there. Various crypto charts. So I want to see BTC dominance. So if we go to, that's the monthly, I think the monthly we reached, that's way back. We'll go to the weekly. So that's 67% just now, it's saying 67%. We have been higher. Well, it was 20th of March, we reached 94%. But when we got to, yeah, it was about 70% when we got to the all-time high. So that's where the 70% comes from. So that was the last kind of bull run. And it got to about the 70% mark. We're getting very, very close to that. That's why I think we're getting close to the all-time high as well. So we could touch the all-time high or break the all-time high, touch $20,000 and then pull back a big pullback, maybe 30-40%, but that's a general consensus. But I just think that's going to happen psychologically. I think that is going to happen. So we'll need to wait and see kind of what happens there. And obviously nobody can predict that. They can predict it and be right, but equally could predict it and be wrong as well. So you could either be right or wrong, or just nothing kind of much happens. Ron Leeper is in the house from South Dakota. Good to see you here. You're up late. I'm really getting excited about the DeFi projects being built on Ethereum. Yeah, I think DeFi is where it's going to be at, I think, and it's going to change the financial world as we know it just now, I think. Scottish Bull, 0x, Maker, Kyber, Ethereum itself, and a few more. I think Ethereum is going to have a major bull run as well, and I don't think anybody should discount Ethereum. I hope nobody's doing that anyway, but I think Ethereum at these prices as well is really good. Bezant is solid Korean company. Yeah. High Points Drifter, hello to all. Lawrence Matthews is in. Nels Bull, Bezant is only up on Binance Dex. Look at markets. I think it's the wrong price. A zero is missing. Right. Gene is in the house. Crypto Knowledge Lions, one of our ground admins, Jimbo. And if you go over to his channel as well, kind of watched your channel yesterday. Jimbo, your video yesterday, it was only for 5-10 minutes. I had to go out. But as always, brilliant TA. I like your kind of TA and what you're doing as well on the channel. So if nobody's checked him out, you can go into the chat area just now, click on Crypto Knowledge Alliance, and you can subscribe to his channel there as well. Kind of spoke about Rob as well. So we've got a couple of our admins. I think about 25% of our admins have now got their own channels on YouTube, which is fantastic. So click on Crypto Knowledge Alliance, and if you go to Bitcoin Phoenix, F-E-N-I-K-S as well, that's Rob's channel in Polish as well. So really proud of Jimbo and kind of Rob as well for what you've done in the crypto space. Kevin Hunter's in from Maidstone on his crypto journey. Alts gained 30% a day, and of course with hindsight would have helped recover my portfolio if I was in it. Of course never am. In your opinion, what's the best way to catch those daily gainers? I think it's just looking at the charts kind of every day, and there's always going to be outliers. So I'm going to show you, we'll go to Binance. And this is what I'm going to teach you. If you want to sign up, if you're not in the premium group already, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a crypto class at the end of the month. So you can sign up for that. There's a link down below. I've got a new link coming up. I've just been working on it yesterday as well. So I'm going to teach you there's 3 videos I'm going to be doing. 5 ways to make money with crypto. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you the 3 to 6 strategy, the millionaire strategy. I've showed you that already on here, but I'm going to do that in a video as well. And a couple of other things I want to show you as well. So that's coming up at the end of the month. We're going to open up the premium group for 1 week only. If you've not joined the premium group, remember and join. But I'm going to show you something here as well. We're going to Binance. I've just done that. So we'll go into Binance just now and see. So CMT is up just now. How could you have caught CMT? CMT Bitcoin. So this is a weekly. We'll go to the 4-hourly chart. And you can see here, or you could even use a 2-hourly chart, because this is a very fast market. The faster the market, i.e. if the market's moving up, with Bitcoin I'm talking about, if the market's moving up, obviously it's a fast market. Bitcoin is moving up quite quickly just now. So it's called, for me, it's a fast market. So I would use either the 2-hourly for this one. So you could have caught Cyber Miles at 477 Satoshi, and you set a limit in your mind of what you want to take. Say, okay, you want to take 20%. When it gets to 20%, at 577, you get out. Or if you see the first red candle, you get out. It could go up much more, but at least you've bagged 20% in this type of market. Previous one to that, and 365, kind of went in. Another way to do this as well, I'll show you. You went in at 365. You could have had a 91% profit, but you don't know the high. Nobody knows the high, what the high is going to be. So what you can do, you can kind of stagger your, not stagger it. What you can do is kind of push your. I had a momentary kind of lapse. What's it called? Trailing stop loss. Just forgot about that there. I knew it would come to me. So you can set a trailing stop loss or just do a manual trailing stop loss. So basically if it goes up, you kind of push your stop loss up with it. Keep pushing up, keep pushing up. And if you'd done that, you could have nearly caught the top here. Or you'd have been, if you're, say, 100 Satoshis off, your trailing stop loss was 100 Satoshis or 50 Satoshi, you'd have caught nearly the top before it came down again. So remember to do that as well. That's a way to stay in profit, not just take the 20%. And settle for the 20% because you'd have lost out 70% if you'd done that there. So set a trailing stop loss if you can, which you can't do in Binance just now, but you can do it if you've got kind of some other kind of third-party apps that you can use, like 3 commas or something. You can set a trailing stop loss. Though you have to give your API keys. I don't really trust them, so I've never ever used it myself, so I can't say if it's good or bad. But you can do that. You can set a trailing stop loss. And I think that's the best thing to do. For here, if you'd say a trailing stop loss here at say 50 Satoshi, you'd have got at 550 before it fell all the way back down here. So that's a way to kind of find CND. We'll just look at that as well. 2 hour, that kind of crossed over at 112, 131. It wouldn't have been a big one because it hit its bottom. You're going to miss out before it crosses over on 15%. So that's not a good one to kind of look at, but that's the way to do it. Just look at just simple TA. That's all you need. You could look at the RSI. You could look at the stochastic RSI. You could look at the Bollinger Bands as well. I've noticed Keith Waring has got 3 kind of things he uses: Bollinger Bands, I think it's the RSI and something else. The MACD. He uses the MACD as well. So and he's trading on Bybit as well. But I still say you can make a lot of money just using the crossover. That's all you need, just using the crossover. So for this one, 15% you've missed out on before the crossover. You can go down because it's a fast market. You can go down and use the hourly chart. You could have caught 106 and gone up 34%, trailing stop loss, and you just have to be really careful because it is such a fast market. That's one way to do it, Stuart. I don't know if that helps or not. Gavin Mearns, morning Steve, long time no see. What have I missed? Oh, Gavin, you've missed loads, mate. Crypto Knowledge Alliance, Jimbo, learning from the best, many thanks. Yeah, your channel is doing really good, Jimbo. I know you're going to get more, and we're going to be doing a collab as well, which I'm looking forward to. Gavin Mearns, morning from Hull. Ajmal Salim, good morning all to you. Okay, a couple of news stories. Crypto analyst predicts new 2019 high as last Bitcoin bear prepares to flip. So, Bitcoin, this is Tone Vays. I've just seen this just now. Deb sent me this, just sent me this before it came live. I thought I'm going to have to share this because Tone Vays has been a bear for such a long time, for years it seems. He's been a bear with regards to the kind of Bitcoin pricing. It's going to go to $1,000. But Tone Vays says the Bitcoin breakout he's been looking for has finally arrived. The veteran trader who calls himself the last bear left says he's changing his tune after witnessing Bitcoin climb back and remain above $12,000. And Vays says the next key level of resistance to watch is the spot where BTC hit its 2019 high near $14,000. So he says we've broken the 3 prior swing lows. That's a very good sign. There's only one left. There's only one hurdle to go, and that's the top at 13,880. And the 4-hour chart closed pretty much in that area. So meanwhile, analyst Josh Rager, this is on kind of Twitter as well, is outlining the same resistance level and says he believes at this point there's not much in the way of Bitcoin attaining the new yearly high. So if we go back to the BTC price, BTC USD, it's coming down just now, just kind of did go up, but it's 12,800. Well, it's coming back up from where because it fell down to 12,789. But if we go to the monthly, this is what Josh Rager is talking about. The monthly closing high was 13,880. So this is what Tone Vays is talking about as well. This kind of range, 13,880, and you can see that just coming up with $1,000 off it. If we break that, there's no precedent for breaking that on the monthly. So we've got kind of the wick here, obviously, and we've got a big kind of $6,000 wick on the monthly back in December 2017. But there's no saying where this is going to go because fundamentally it's different from 2017. We have to remember that. there's not the retail investor FOMO that there was back in 2017. That'll come when Bitcoin hits $20,000, and it's going to make all the headlines in the news. It's going to be mainstream news. It's going to be all over the internet, and that's when people are going to FOMO in. That's when people are going to buy at $20,000, which you shouldn't really. You should be buying just now, but I think that's what's going to happen. And then at $20,000, that's going to be a psychological barrier because it's this all-time high and it's a big round number, and that will be the kind of its all-time high, and it might kind of chop in between, maybe between 18,000, 22,000, and then it might come back down a big, kind of come down, and then on its way up to 30, 40, 50, 60,000. So that's Tone Vays kind of changing his tune on this if it can go past 13,880, and that is the monthly high, the monthly all-time high for Bitcoin price. So I'm going to tell you about this yesterday. There was a trade yesterday. I was, a couple of days ago I was in. No, it was yesterday. And we'll look on the 5-minute chart. And we're up here. So I was in it yesterday. And so it's going up, kind of, was trading on the kind of 5 minutes, kind of traded here, went in at about 12,600, kind of went up 12,700. I had a big kind of stop loss in place, and it kind of dropped by about $700 in the space of about 15 minutes, and that's when that big whale had sold off about 6,000 Bitcoin. So this kind of drops. You have to be really extremely careful with this, and this was a kind of 0.25 Bitcoin loss. For me, this doesn't happen. You're not going to get this all the time, these big drops. So you have to be careful of that as well if you're using the likes of Bybit or BitMEX or whatever. So I'm back in just now. Hopefully I can trade my way back for that. But you have to be careful. There's still a lot of whales out there in the Bitcoin kind of world as well. So we're up at 12,883 at the moment. I'm just seeing another big kind of drop there from 12,973 to 12,789, so another $200-300 drop. And that's obviously somebody selling maybe 500, 1,000 kind of Bitcoin or something. But we're going back up again, and I still see this, and we're moving up to the $14,000, $15,000 level. And all we can do really is just kind of keep an eye on it and just see where we are and just chart it and keep an eye on it. So I'm looking for longer term. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we crossed over at $11,000 on a 4-hour chart. And it still looks as if we're going to go higher from here as well. And I think we're going to reach this 13,800. Once we breach that, then I think we could go even higher to 15,000 and beyond from there. Now, that's not just me being extremely bullish on Bitcoin. That's just looking at the charts. That's just looking at the direction of the charts. That's all it is. And if we look here and go to kind of this chart, this is the monthly. So the trajectory has changed as well. So look on the daily. So I change the trajectory well, at the moment it's been every couple of days or every couple of weeks. So this is a trajectory. If we kind of zoom in, we've got this hockey stick pattern forming. You can see that, the purple line here. That's a hockey stick pattern forming just now. And we're on course for Bitcoin to break. It was different a couple of days ago, but we're on course now for Bitcoin to break its all-time high at the end of July, 29th of July. That's a current trajectory. This can change at any moment, and it has changed quite a lot over the last few days. But at the moment, it's due for the end of July. So we've got a couple of weeks. If it goes on its current trajectory, it might be actually quicker than that, because it could kind of zoom up from here basically. So we might still be on that. And as I said, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist at this point. I'm just looking at the charts and saying this is where we're headed, this is where the party's at just now. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin, nobody's really paying attention to the alts. However, that's when to pay attention to the alts, when nobody's paying attention to them, if that makes sense. Okay, a couple of other news stories as well. This is Chamath Palihapitiya. and he's saying that Bitcoin is a single best hedge against the traditional financial infrastructure. Palihapitiya told CNBC, whether you support the fiscal and the monetary policy or not, it doesn't matter. This is a smug insurance you have under your mattress. So he's talking about Bitcoin there, and obviously he's kind of former Facebook guy as well, and big time investor at the moment. So he's actually a really good kind of down to earth kind of guy when you watch his interviews. So it's worth watching. He's very much a kind of Warren Buffett kind of style, who's against Bitcoin. But even he's going to go into it, I think. And Palihapitiya just says, just buy the coins. It's a fantastic instrument. He's been buying since 2013. I think he got his kind of Silicon Valley friends into it, who once owned about 5% of the entire float of Bitcoin. So presumably they've sold off since then. But imagine having 5% of the entire float of Bitcoin just now. So that's where we are with some of the whales, actually. Some of them own a hell of a lot of Bitcoin just now. Other news stories. Bitcoin price breakout eyes massive upside beyond 2019 high. So they're just talking about the high here, and they're looking for 13,868 for the 2019 high. Are we going to break that? Looks very likely that is going to break. What other news stories we've got? Yes, this is a big one. Mark Mobius, I remember kind of book, Stock Market Heroes. I read a brilliant book, Stock Market Heroes, years and years ago. And Mark Mobius was one of the guys I followed when I was doing stock market and trading and investing. And he's come out and saying that I'm not a buyer of Bitcoin, but I realise it's something we have to account for. The reason why I'm not a buyer is that I don't know what the real value is, and unless it's so widely held and accepted, then that's a different story. Let's face it, all currencies are based on faith, and that's very true. We have to remember that it's based on faith. If you have faith in the dollar, faith in the renminbi, or faith in the euro, whatever it is, then you can use it. But the problem with these cryptocurrencies is that it's not that widely used, except in a lot of illicit activities, which is not true at all, because fiat is used in a lot of illicit activities. But at the end of the day, there are many people who do believe in it, and if it continues and grows, then I would probably have to be a buyer and be involved in this. You're going to get more and more people like Mark Mobius who are just kind of watching on the sidelines, and I would imagine they'll have some already. If they were kind of watching it, they would have kind of bought some already, just saying, okay, I'm not going to put billions and billions of dollars into it, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a couple of $1 million into it and they'll buy Bitcoin. So I would imagine that's what they've done already. Even if they bought kind of 20, 30, 40, 50 Bitcoin just to play with, then I think they've probably already done that. But once they see it starting going up and it's being used more and more and more, then that's when they're going to come in big time into the markets. And people like him, and remember the kind of his circle of friends, the kind of wide network he's got, are probably going to get in as well. They're going to listen to this guy because he's a legendary and kind of hedge fund manager as well. Once I think it was $80 billion or something he kind of controlled. Was it 80 billion? Something like that. Mobius Capital Partners. It was huge. Just go back. Crypto Dread, sorry I'm late. Not a problem at all, mate. Daz Hibernia's in the house. Yo. Katie Live Show, do you think the bull run starts now? I think after 13,880, because of no precedent after, there's nothing to kind of show where we're going to go after that. On the monthly, certainly, obviously, there's no supports, there's no resistances past the 13,800 or past the kind of 2019 high. There's not much resistance because we've not been there before, apart from 2017, 2018, and that was a straight up kind of run. We see here on the 4-hour chart that this is the kind of previous high. It went from 12,800, kind of where we are just now, all the way up to 13,800. So we kind of got $1,000 within a couple of days. I think that's going to happen here again. And if we go back and look at the all-time highs previously, so we're talking about the 20,000. There's no real support and resistances to go back on. So historically, we don't know what's going to happen. There's never been this kind of moment in history apart from 2017, 2018, and there's no real support there until we get to $20,000. $20,000 is a major resistance purely because that's where we got to before in 2017, and that's where we kind of reached. That's where there's going to be a resistance. So there's going to be a resistance there because that was its all-time high, and there's also going to be a psychological resistance because 20,000, big round number, and I think it'll fall back from there. And I think a lot of people will be thinking that as well, but it might crash through it first. It might get up to 21,000, then come back down. So we're in a bull run just now. We've never been out of a bull run. Look at this. If we go to the daily even, now we'll go back to the weekly. That chart there is going all the way back to 2011. We've never been out of a bull run. We've never been in a bear market. This is going to be a blip. A couple of years' time, you're just going to say, that was a blip from 20,000 down to 3,000. A little blip in the market, not that big. That's what it's going to be like. We've never been out of a bull market, and we'll have to remember that. So all the way from here to here, we see that as a kind of support line, all the way up just now. That is a bull market, and we've never been out of it yet. So yeah, I still think we're in a bull market. We'll continue on this kind of bull market run. Any chance of a quick look at Link? Yeah, I was looking at that yesterday actually, just to see what I was going to do. So if you want me to look at any charts for the alts, let me know, and I'll have a wee look. Okay, Link and Bitcoin. This is on a weekly. Look at the weekly chart. That's just a beautiful chart, isn't it? Up 700%. This is on a weekly. So crossed over on a weekly, even if you got in a weekly. Crossed over on a weekly at 4,746. Now 38,000. Or now kind of 24,000. So it's come down. So we'll go to the 4 hourly. On the 4 hourly, it's not a buy at the moment. So because it's a fast market, obviously we can go down. We can use the kind of 1 hourly chart. So it's not buy just now. I think it's a buy long term. If you're looking for a long term investment, totally different. Long term buy, definitely. I think it's a good project. I think it's going to, major things are going to be happening with it. And it's going to be partnering with a lot of people, a lot of kind of projects as well. But at the moment, it's not buy. If you're trading it, it's not buy at the moment. If you're an investor, that's totally different. So we have to kind of distinguish between an investor and a trader, and see what type you are. So, but it's having a brilliant run just now. It's just purely because Bitcoin is just on a parabolic run. Everybody's focusing on Bitcoin just now. But when the alt season starts, Chainlink is going to be up there again, surpassing its all-time high of kind of 40,000-ish. So 100% kind of increase from here as well. So if you're an investor, this is a good time to accumulate, dollar cost average in, and just keep buying in to Chainlink as well. And where is it with regards to market cap? And so talking about market cap of 1.1 billion. With regards to it's going to be a top 10 coin, definitely. It's going to way overtake Tron and Bitcoin SV. They're just mints. So you're talking about Binance Coin. Is it better than Binance Coin or EOS? Probably. It's probably top 5. Bitcoin Cash shouldn't be there. Bitcoin SV shouldn't be there. You're probably talking about a top 5. So if you're talking about a top 5, you're talking about a 700% increase from here. Long term. That's just kind of what I believe, what I'm kind of looking at. I need to do a deep dive. Not done a deep dive, just looked at it kind of on the surface and a wee bit under the surface. So subcutaneous, if you like. But that's what I've done. Not done a deep dive in it, but it does look like a brilliant project. So that's Chainlink. So long term, yes. Short term trading, not at the moment. Barbara Taylor, good morning, Steve. Brighter days ahead. Cheers. Yes. Hopefully. Hopefully for the alts. So we should be kind of either trading kind of for Bitcoin just now in the alts, and I've showed you kind of how to do that as well. And there's lots of ways to do it, obviously. But being in Bitcoin just now is obviously a must as well. You need to be collecting your Bitcoin for the future. But as I said, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I think there's going to be a lot of alts out there that are just going to do brilliantly, and they're going to be amazing in coins. And I still think we're going to go to this FTSE structure, FTSE 100, FTSE 250, and then FTSE small caps. And once we get that, once we've just got a collection of 450 coins or 500 coins, and that's all we have, and there'll be kind of upstarts that just come in and jump into top 500, then I think it's going to be a brilliant market. I think it's going to be regulated well enough, not too much like the US are trying to do just now, not too much, but regulated well enough where we're protected. That's just going to be a brilliant market to be in, the crypto market. And it's going to be for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years as well, certainly in our lifetime. And it's going to be a boon kind of, we're at the very start still, and that's what the Winklevoss twins were saying as well. We're at the bottom of the first innings, which is a baseball term. But really they're saying we're just at the start of what's kind of happening just now, and we still are. We really still are. It's just some of us are getting wrecked at the moment, and it's just about a matter of kind of, if you can invest, just invest like you would a pension and put money in you put in your pension pot, you put maybe £200-300 in a month, or £100 in a month, whatever. It's just like doing that. So put £100 in Bitcoin every month. But that's not financial advice. Do your own research, put your big boy pants on, big girl pants on, all that. So that's just what I think, and it's my biased opinion, totally 100% biased because I'm in the markets. So you have to remember that as well. Any YouTuber you watch, they're 100% biased. They're always trying to get something out of it. I'm trying to get you to buy my program, the premium program, so I'm biased. I'm in Bitcoin just now, I'm in kind of the alts just now, so I'm biased. So everybody that's in kind of big or into kind of YouTube crypto just now, they're biased. So you have to remember that as well. So basically what I'm saying is do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. Imran Chowdhury's joined us. This high BTC dominance could be as a result of people being in more risk of attitude rather than risk averse. Everyone is very sensitive, especially after a year-long drawdown. Alts will come. The alts will come. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to come. Steve, can I mention another of your YouTubers' name in this group? Is that okay? Yeah, of course, yeah, fire away. Gordy Boy, since dumping my alts nearly every day for a while, I've skimmed profit from Bitcoin, making more money than a bank could ever give. 100%. That's what I was saying with, I was showing kind of my wife earlier on. So these are the calls I've made in the alts market, and this is the average gain. So I was looking at it and just saying, this is, you couldn't get this from a bank. So the average gain in kind of June was 17%. In May it was 37%. In April it was 9% when a bad month for alts. 27% in March, 20% in February, and January was 16%. So imagine if you compounded that, if you started off with $1,000, got 16%, put that, which would be $1,160, put that into for February, May, March, April, May, if you compounded that, how much money you'd have. And imagine putting that same $1,000 in a bank and getting 0.001% interest. So you get maybe $10 or £10 back if you put £1,000 in over a 6-month period. It's just banks, there's no place for banks at the moment. Not at the moment, there's no place for banks just now, and they're going to disappear as we know it, the banks at the moment. So this is where kind of crypto comes in. Now I have to admit, I was saying to kind of my wife as well, I have to admit, when I call price, I say, okay, I think this is going to go up, and I call price at 1100 Satoshi, for example. So there's no way, this is the very top price within 10 days. There's no way you can get the very top every single time. So these prices are a wee bit skewed, but they have gone up. Every single time they've gone up. You can see here, we'll just go to June. June XZC went up 95%, 140% for CDT. So if you set a trailing stop loss of, I don't know, 5% or something, you'd have been up a lot of money just now. So these trailing stop losses should be used. There was another one, NAS went up 91%. And these were the kind of big ones. Matic went up 37%. And Seller went up 48%. So these are the ones I call in the group. I've not called much in July because there's very slim pickings just now. So I've not called much in July because of the Bitcoin price dominance as well. So this is how you can make money, but you're making more money, making more Bitcoin. As Satoshi, it's not just about making kind of dollars. Because when the Bitcoin price goes up, your dollar value of your portfolio is going to go up anyway, but that's no good. You want your Bitcoin value to go up. Ultimately, it's going to be, Bitcoin is going to be your store of value. It really is going to be the store of value. So we want more Bitcoin, but there's alts out there that are just you would just want to hold. For example, I think Ethereum, you'd want to hold XRP, the big kind of caps, but then there's hidden gems out there as well that you'd want to hold, even put $1,000 into. If you could find 5 hidden gems that you put kind of $1,000 into each, in 2 years' time, one of them, they all might or 4 of them might disappear altogether and just they've turned out to be shit coins and they just disappeared. But one of them, if you do your due diligence, could 100x. So for putting $1,000 in, you get $100,000 back. That negates the $4,000 lost on the other ones. So think about it that way for hidden gems as well. That's kind of how I think about it. So there is a place for kind of alts in this market. It's just now the new ones that are coming out just now are much more advanced than the previous ICOs were even. People were just getting into ICOs to make money, obviously. And the people that were doing the ICOs as well, that was purely just for money. It was just money grabbing. Now it's totally different. You're actually finding use cases. You're actually finding qualified people in this space. And this is where what I've been talking about, the altcoin purge, is happening just now, where the shitcoins are just going to disappear altogether and you're going to have a top 500 kind of coins. I hope that's the way it's going to go. Will the alts fall if BTC hits 20k, or will they continue to fall? No, I think what's going to happen, if we kind of look at this historically, again, we have to kind of look at it historically because that's the only benchmark we've got. So we'll go to BTC USD. So we can see historically that's on a 1 hour, on a 1 daily. So we'll go historically here. So this was it reached its peak on the 17th of December 2017. So if we go to the likes of Ethereum, we can go to the dollar value of the alts market, and there's no point in doing that, and because that's just the dollar value of kind of Bitcoin, that's really what you're looking at. But if we go to Ethereum BTC, we can see Ethereum started going up pretty much as soon as Bitcoin started coming down. Once it reached its peak, Ethereum kind of went up 180% in Satoshi value. And Satoshi value went up 180% there. But it was kind of December, kind of went up more than that actually. It went up 414%. Now, if we look at the likes of, say, XRP, we know XRP as well, that kind of shot up. So that's maybe not a good one to kind of look at. If we go to CoinMarketCap and say, okay, we don't want to say Litecoin. So just look at Litecoin, round about that period as well. Litecoin BTC, so looking at Satoshi value again. So this was December, so it did hit a bottom. There was a big drop there, but that wasn't correct. So we'll just do a closing price. And it kind of peaked again, 400%. And that's for the big alts. We're not talking about the smaller ones. So the smaller ones can potentially do much more. Potentially do much more. So that's what happened with the alts. As soon as Bitcoin hit its peak, let's say $19,666, and then started coming down, the alts started moving up in direct inverse correlation with it. So when Bitcoin goes down, the alts go up. It doesn't always happen that way. When Bitcoin goes down, a lot of the time the alts go down, but that was a different case because Bitcoin had hit its peak. Everybody was jumping out of Bitcoin and going into the alts because they've seen that's what's going to happen, and that's what's going to happen. This, I think, is going to happen this time around as well. Where the peak is for Bitcoin, we don't know yet, and that's the thing. But psychologically, you would say it's at $20,000. I think it's going to hit its all-time high. Then it's going to be mainstream news, and then it's going to be all over FOMO. There's going to be a lot of FOMO, and it might go up to 22,000, 23,000, 24,000, and then come back down. So we need to wait and see kind of what happens with that. So that's what I think is going to happen, and then everybody's going to get out of kind of Bitcoin and go into the alts, and the alts market is just going to explode, probably bigger than the previous big alt season run. That's my opinion though. Mark Pawn got NPXS at 11, 10, 9, 8 and 7. What about 6? Yeah. PundyX, Dent. So what are the 6 and 7 Satoshi? Unbelievable. Dent is, I've seen it going down. Was it 8, 9 Satoshi went to? 8 and 9 Satoshi. There's just now. That's crazy. So when the alt season gets going, so we're looking at this just now and just saying there must be something wrong. I'm missing something if I'm seeing this going down. You start doubting yourself about the kind of research that you've done and kind of looked at it. If you've kind of done the research on Dent and you've kind of seen it, and you've looked at it, you've seen the partnerships, everything coming up and everything going on, then you just go, there must be something I'm missing because this keeps on going down. And a lot of people are thinking like that just now, and they're just getting out. So they're getting out at 8 Satoshi just now, because a lot of people are thinking the same way. I must be missing something. That this is going down, and this is when people are going to start to swoop in and just kind of start buying up the likes of Dent, PundiX. But if you do your due diligence, you might think it's not a good coin and just stay out of it. But that's fine. That's fine. Hot was another one as well. Because where is that being? It's 12 being as low as, I think it's all time. Is this all time low? Well, its all time low is about 6 or 7, but recent all time low was about 11. So around about the same levels. And it's a kind of all time high has been about 45-ish on Binance, 46 Satoshi. So you're talking about a 200% increase just to get to its all time high. But I don't think that's going to happen with every single one of the alts. So I think some of the alts are just going to disappear. MFT, I've been looking at that because I thought that was going to be a good one. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but there's a few that are just going to disappear and nobody's going to want to trade. But I do think what's going to happen is leading the way, and I've said this before, you're going to get the likes of ERD, Matic, Seller, One, Fetch AI, BTT. They're going to lead the altcoin run as well, and that's where you're going to see huge increases. Again, it's my thoughts on that. We'll go to 1 hour, so 37 for ERD, Elrond. So I've never looked into Elrond yet. Actually, I've never looked into it kind of deep enough to say it's going to lead. But from an IEO point of view, from a Binance point of view, I think it is going to be one of the ones. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Binance in September and what's going to happen with the whole kind of trading scene in September once the US kind of drops out of Binance. But just at the moment, they're still in Binance just now. Moving Skidmore, thumbs up. London Bobby, thank God Mt. Gox cannot dump the Bitcoin. Seems like the investors are only getting back $900 per BTC from Fortress Investment Group, but some investors want it full value. What's your take? I've never really thought about it that much, but obviously they're getting something back. Nobody expected them to get anything back whatsoever. So if they're getting something back, that's something just now. But if this was kind of anywhere else, if it wasn't a kind of crypto market and this kind of went to kind of quote and it was about something else and the price had increased dramatically since then you'd expect the price to be paid for what today's price is because of the loss of that as well. But so it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. That's what I'd say just now, because a lot of people just thought they'd lost all their money on Mt. Gox. So if that's what, again, I didn't know that it was $900 per BTC, but if that's what, again, just now, is better than nothing at all. But you'd think if this wasn't the crypto world and it was kind of somewhere else in the world or some other kind of area in kind of legal terms, I think the judge would just say you have to pay back what the value is as of today. I think that would be my personal opinion. Personally, I don't even think the state pension will be around by the time I retire at 68. Never mind badly managed private pensions. I honestly believe we have to secure our own. I believe that as well. I've been saying that for a couple of years. Not stupidly. I kind of put a lot of money in from the business into kind of my pension as well because of the tax benefits, obviously, as well. And I'm kind of regretting doing that just now, but I'm going to take early retirement from that. So you can retire. I'll be able to retire at 57, 7 years' time, on that money that I put in, just on that kind of sum just now. So yeah, it just depends on the type of pension you've got. I know kind of the old pension for the kind of police and the nurses and stuff like that, they could retire at 50 or 55, some of them. So they were good pensions, but I don't think you get a good pension nowadays like you used to. And crypto may be a way I can financially be independent before I turn 68. Let's retire young and enjoy. Yes, that's exactly how I see it as well, Stuart. Rob Fiddler, how do you set a trailing stop loss? You have to manually do it. So if you were going to buy, say for example, you want to buy ERD at 37 and it goes up to say 45. So you can put a stop limit order in, say, okay, once ERD hits 45 and you're going to sell it at a particular price, but if it keeps on going up, you can cancel that and kind of push it back up again. So that's how you do a trailing stop loss on Binance, but you have to do it manually and just keep an eye on it all the time. So it's not a good way to do it. It'd be brilliant if they did have a trailing stop loss order in here as well. It's not a good way to do it, but there is a way to do it. Third-party apps you can use, like 3 Commas or something. I keep mentioning them. It's because it's the most well-known one, and a lot of people talk about it and say it's quite good, but I've never used it myself. You can set trailing stop losses automatically, but you have to give your API key away. And I don't like that, so I've never used it. And that's the reason I've never used it. Steve, will show you isn't Steve on Binance. Easy to do, but if you don't know, not too easy. Or Steve will show you. Isn't it? Yeah, it is easy to do manually on Binance. And they get out, I go in and more in. Yep. But I got BTC at 3,400, so I can do that, MacPawn. Oh yeah, brilliant. Steve, look what CEO is saying about market, and what about alts? 3 minutes takes only 2 minutes. Where's that? Oh, the BitMEX CEO. Send you a link in our chat. Right, we'll just have a look at that just now. So if Rob's sending over, it must be good. 1 second. Right, what chat did you send it in? Admins. Right, we're going to look at this just now. Right, 3 minutes 48 seconds. I'm just going to get the time up. 3 minutes 48. Right, so this is Arthur Hayes. What he's saying. I'm going to try and get it set up so you can hear the sound as well, because I've not got a set up for that. So 1 second, if you're still interested in this. And we'll go to here. And go to plus, audio capture, system audio capture, add. So hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I'm going to go over just now.
Because you created such a speculative beast of a product. Now let's talk about Bitcoin and the market. So you called the bear market, I won't forget, because you were actually on CNBC. And you got on CNBC and said, I think this price is going lower. And that was when Bitcoin was at around $5,000. And it did go lower. Where are we today? We've had this bull run. We've got to about 14,000. We're back down to about 11,000, give or take. Where are we going from here?
So I think we're going to chop between 10 to 20,000 for the rest of the year. I know some people think we're going to blow past 20K, but if we think about how long it took for us to get from 1,000 to 10,000 in 2017, that took 11 months. So if we're going to hit another major milestone, basically getting back above the high water mark, it's not going to be easy. It's not just going to be, okay, we went through 10,000 and now, a month later we're going to be at 20,000. So there's going to be a huge amount of volatility in, I think, this $10,000 to $20,000 range. And I think we exit above 20,000 in early 2020.
And so you're not buying this thing of going to 50,000 and 100,000 and this whole parabolic move?
Well, it could happen in a parabolic move. I just don't think it's going to happen in a 6-month time frame. And one of the bigger trends that I see driving this is central bank money printing. Now, as the Fed probably cuts at the end of the year, the PBOC is doing triple R cuts, ECB is going to have to continue LRTO and all these programs. This money is not going to make its way really into the crypto ecosystem until it finances more money-losing startups like Uber, Lyft, and all these massive public companies. Once people get done with those, then they'll move down to the crypto ecosystem, and that's where I see Q1 2020 is when we really start getting the upward cycle.
Institutional money or retail money?
I still think this is a retail-led phenomenon. If institutions cared about Bitcoin, they would be trading on the CME. The CME would be destroying volume for all the other exchanges. That's not happening. The institutions aren't here. There's no real clear value proposition.
We kept saying that we didn't have enough custodian, we didn't have the right infrastructure. We've got custodians now.
Okay, thanks for that, Rob. Just see if we're live. Hopefully you heard the sound on it. I don't know if you heard the sound on it. Ajmal, how will the Chinese? 1 second, we've still got sound. Ajmal Slim, how will the Chinese scam worth 330 million involving Tron affect Tron price? It's already affected the Tron price already, and that was a scam with an exchange. Was it with an exchange? Scammers in China, they were kind of using it. They weren't using the Tron name directly, as in i.e. Tron. It was called something else, but Tron didn't kind of come out and say that this is nothing to do with us. Obviously, it has affected the Tron price, but really, at the end of the day, it's nothing to do with Tron. They should have came out and said this is nothing to do with us, but they didn't. But really, at the end of the day, it's nothing to do with Tron. So short term, it kind of went down, obviously, because of all the FUD that was going around about it. But long term, whatever the long term is going to be for Tron, I don't think it's going to affect it that much. The Revolutionists, I believe that once ADA is fully up and running, that over time will overtake ETH and Bitcoin once BTC maxes out and burns itself out due to energy usage. Just my opinion. I don't see that happening. I really don't see that. A lot of people talk about the energy of kind of Bitcoin to mine Bitcoin and stuff like that. But if you look at the energy that banks use, just by being up and running, being in the high street, the energy the bank uses far outweighs kind of the energy that kind of Bitcoin uses to mine it. So a lot of people go this kind of energy route, saying, oh, Bitcoin takes a lot of energy to mine and stuff like that. But if you look at banks, how many banks has Royal Bank of Scotland got? How much is their energy bill? So we have to look at it from that point of view, from a green point of view. I don't think that's anything to do with it. I don't think Cardano is going to overtake Bitcoin. I think it's going to be higher up. I think it's going to be 10x, 20x, 30x, no question. It's just going to be slow for Cardano, and this is why I think it's good for dollar cost averaging in Cardano. I think it's going to be one of the ones that's going to be left after the altcoin purge. It's definitely still going to be here after the altcoin purge because of quality group, quality project, quality kind of followers as well. I just think it's going to be one of the ones after the altcoin purge as well. But is it going to overtake Bitcoin? I don't think so. Or Ethereum. I think Ethereum's you're going to be surprised at the rise of Ethereum very soon. I think. We haven't Skidmore and what a great price Cardano's at. Cardano is, was it 6-7 Satoshi just now? 672, 598. 598 Satoshi. If only I had about $100,000, imagine getting into this price. And next alt run it goes up to say 5,000 or something. What's the high for Cardano? 7,000. So 12x just to get to its all-time high. Now, you can say that, a lot of people say that to get to its all-time high. So this is potentially a double bottom, actually. I just noticed that there. Potentially a double bottom here, so it could bounce from here. But a lot of people say, oh, just to get to its all-time high. But we have to look and say, okay, there's a lot of shit coins out there that are at the very bottom just now, that to get to the all-time high, it might be 20x. It's not going to get there because of shit coins. The likes of Cardano is different. When I say it's got 12x to get to its all-time high, or more than that now, then it's different because Cardano is a quality project. It's not. It is going to survive the altcoin purge. So that is a potential, say 15x. So from 599 up to say 9,000. What have we got? Yeah, 13, 14x just to get to its all-time high. And fundamentally, it's changed. So it's going to be a 20x kind of coin. So if you're going to go in and just say, okay, I'm going to park money here. I've got a spare 5,000 or something. You park it in the likes of Cardano. And it's a top coin and it's one of the big caps, still is going to 14x. If you were told and guaranteed it was going to 14x, you'd have no problem putting it in. That's what I think is going to happen. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your kind of dad or anything like that. So put your big boy pants on, big girl pants on, all that stuff, and do your own research. But that's just what I think about Cardano. And brilliant price just now. Do you think the Metamorph could make it into top 100? The Revolutionist. Metamorph, I've not been checking on it. I've seen the price obviously because it's in my portfolio. It needs the users. So 1.1 million just now, but needs the users onboarded. And obviously there's going to be a marketing campaign for it. And there should be a marketing campaign. I think the promised one. I think they are just now because I've seen a couple of people I've spoken to, I've seen the adverts kind of dotted about all over the place, all over the internet. But top 100, to get to top 100, so this is 1.1 million market cap just now. So 68x, yes. Yes, I could easily see it if if they can onboard people. This is going to be the big thing just now with Metamorph, is about onboarding people and getting people to use the platform. I think that's going to be the big challenge for them. But over time, once it's seen, once its quality kind of shines through, and as long as nothing goes wrong, then yes, I think you can get into the top 100. So a 68xer there for sure, if it can onboard people. Barbara Taylor, I think the institutions one day will be highly invested in Cardano. We're not just talking retail when it comes to Cardano. No, exactly. I think they're going out. There's a news story today. It says they're looking at the big kind of investors as well, to invest some money in it as well. So I need to look more into that. Can't be sure. But yes, I think there's going to be a lot of institutional kind of money into Cardano as well. But these prices, it's just... However, having said that, I say these prices, I'm looking at Satoshi value. If we kind of go to the dollar value, it's probably still about 9 cents, 7 cents. Just now, 7.6 cents because of the Bitcoin price being up. Okay, we'll have another look at the Bitcoin price chart, BTC USD. Where are we just now? 12,839, come back down a wee bit. Look on the 4 hourly. Still up on the 4 hourly. It looks as if it's bouncing off. You can see the 7 EMA, it's bouncing off that just now. Once it goes below that, then you'd kind of start to get worried. But it's looking as if it's going to go up and hit that 13,800. Might break down from there, but I think eventually it is just going to go up. It's just going to go bugger this and just shoot up. Okay, that's it. That's the one last look at kind of Bitcoin just now. And I think we'll leave it there. I like Metamorph project, especially the fact that you can swap directly from a ledger device and a click of a button. Yeah, it's good. I like the platform. I've never used version 2. Well, I did try and use version 2, but it wasn't kind of fully operational. So I've never used it since then. But I do like Metamorph for the price, for the market cap, for the potential of it if they can onboard users. If they don't onboard users, it's not going to be worth anything, but they have to onboard users. Look at how cheap you can buy a VET node right now. I know, unbelievable for VT. VT is another one as well that's going to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x in the future as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. We ran over time for that. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate you being here. And I will leave it there for just now. Until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.